Hello and welcome to episode 217 of the Veeam Community Recap. That's a wild number. It's a Thursday. I just got back from holiday and I can't believe it. Maddie and I are in normal circumstances. Good afternoon. Actually, good evening, Maddie. How are you?
Yeah, good day, Rick, and good day, community. As always, I am doing all right. Finally enjoying the summer weather because it was a very moody weather in the past month, very unusual for May. So I'm happy to have sun and warm weather. As you know, I do like and I thrive on good weather.
Yeah.
But I think it's more fun to tell us how was your trip, how the camping.
Yeah, speaking of the weather, I didn't have moody weather. I had nice, let's see, like 22, 23 weather. So really mild summer. Went here in the US to one of the national forests and saw some really incredible rock formations, like natural bridges and gorges. It was really wild. And I was really mistaken. I thought I'd have cell service and Wi Fi because I read that both were available. One didn't work, and then one wasn't true. So I had neither, as it turned out. So I spent the last, 4, 5 days completely off the grid, and it felt a little dirty for the first 24 hours, but I made it through. I had a great little trip. But you know what? There's so much to do. I had to get back.
Yes, absolutely. You just show me how many emails you have. We are not going to say it, but
No,
yeah, a
I'll
lot
just
to
say it
catch
this
up
way:
with.
I have more emails than we do who's new, maybe times two. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Already said it all.
Yeah,
And yeah, the community has been super active and we have a lot of great content to share today. So, what do you think? Should we jump in?
I think we should, and we're going to start with a great look at the beta from Shane on version 13 with the custom roles. This is I got a lot of opinions here on this one, Maddie. But what caught your eye on this one?
So yeah, as you can see, Shane is being very consistent with the V13 beta. He's playing around and he has as well a lot of opinions and a lot of things to share with us. This time he's discussing the Veeam's new ability to create custom roles in the remote console. And again, good disclaimer, Shane, in there. This is VDP. V13 beta build. So anything like buttons, topics, functionality, feature location, role types, or anything may change when the version gonna reach GA. So he starts by mentioning that in V13 there is a newly added security office role, and that's the security admin. And it's used for tasks such as credentials, checks, and 4-eyes authorizations in the RC. And then first, he's creating a few users to assign the custom roles to. When using Linux-based Veeam installs, users are actually created in the host management UI, not in the RC. So that's an interesting one. And then he's creating a few users, then here is a demo on that. And next, he's creating the custom roles to assign to the new users. And then he's explaining the whole process in detail. So I'm not going to go in all those details, but I'm sure you're going to have some opinions on that. And last, he's creating the custom role and he's discussing the restore operator options. And an interesting thing with this one is the granularity you can get with creating restore custom roles. So I think great job in here with this article and looking for more. What's coming next, Shane? Let us know.
Yeah, Shane, fantastic post. And as Maddie said, this does start with some of the basics in the host management console, which is separate of VBR. And I think it's important to get this kind of out in these forums before we go out with this product, because the Veeam software appliance, which is the services running in Linux in a hardened environment, this is a little different. So it will take some definitely some reading. We don't just throw it in here. So Shane, you're walking the audience through here pretty good, and then we switch over to BNR and start getting into the roles. And then what I think, to the point you made about the granularity, Madi, it is fantastic. This was actually one of the things that Igor Yakovlev in product management explained, how this was implemented in V13 all the way down to the core. So any source object, any target object, any function that we perform, in this case, I'm looking at the granular restore scenarios, the role-based access control can apply there. So this is fantastic. Shane, thank you so much for these this great ramp up to V13. And for everyone else, by the way, you can always be looking at some of the other V13 stuff right here that you can kind of look on some of the tags. Now, not everybody will see the same thing I'm seeing, but you definitely can just search V13 and get the read up right now. So good stuff here. Thank you so much, Shane.
What I can tell is that if you're going to check V13 on Google, all paths are going to take you to the community hub, because most of the content related to V13 and betas is going to be in here. We have, I don't know, I haven't counted how many posts and how many articles were written on that. Okay, is that the number?
Well, that's the number, but we got to be careful, because let me actually log out, just because we have some private stuff just for the Veeam 100, right?
Okay.
So let's see what the public view is. 96. Okay, so almost 100 is out there for the Veeam 100 group, or
That's
for
crazy.
the V13. And it's kind of interesting. It puts some, it does have the user group stuff in here, but, it's definitely a lot of, if you want to learn, community is the place to go. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you, community, for sharing all this good V13 stuff with us.
Indeed. The last thing I'll say is that sometimes you go into something, this is a bad example because it's a user group, but whenever you get somewhere, if it's in Italian or another language, I do this all the time. I let the browser translate it. So even though you might not be in one of these different user groups, you can always just, get some of their news. And honestly, the translation's really good, when it comes to some of these browser translations. So there's a little tip for everybody.
Yeah, totally. But again, I think it's important that we have it in different other languages as well. So it's part of the game, right? Because there are users that are maybe not English speakers, or they prefer it to be in their own language. So just want to thank the leaders that are contributing in their own language as well in the VUG. So good stuff. Keep the good work.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing I'll say is just that also in those user groups, you can actually put questions, right? So it's not just sharing something. You can also ask a question in your own language as well. So that's another nice.
Totally.
All right. Thank you, Shane. Number 2 up is this one. This guy, we keep calling this a lot. And I forget CMF's actual name. You know. Khalid, that's right. Automated tape import and reporting. This looks kind of like the whole package here. I know you like this stuff, and this is our one up top pick here for this week. But what caught your eye on this one?
Yeah, I love the stories from the field, and I love the script. So it's already, making my day. So thank you, Shalit, for putting this together. And in this case, Shalit had the task to migrate a client from IBM TSM to Veeam Data Platform. And the challenge that he had in here was the tape handling and reporting capabilities, because it seems like his customer was kind of used to a higher level of automation with TSM and found Veeam's native features lacking in comparison to IBM TSM, which is pretty interesting as well. And what is Charlie doing in this case? Of course, he's finding a solution for both challenges, the tape and reporting. And it looks like his customer didn't really want to purchase the Veeam 1 license. So he used the community project, My Veeam Report. So he has a link there to the GitHub, which is basically a PowerShell script which creates an instant configurable report about all stuff in your Veeam backup and replication environment. So if you ever want to use this one, you can just use this link that Charlie shared in there. And then for the tape part, he developed a custom PowerShell script that scans all tapes in the tape library and identifies tapes whose write protection has expired and unprotect them, and then also moves them back into the free pool for use, and also sends an email summary with the number of tapes imported. So this is really fantastic from Khalid. I loved the solution and the creativity in here. And please keep on sharing these type of stories with us. I think they are very helpful to the whole community, and we can all learn new creative ways of doing things. So great stuff. Really love this one.
Yeah, and so a couple comments here, Maddie. So, my first thought initially was, well, let's just use Veeam 1. But I realized sometimes just migrating to Veeam is enough of a project, right? So
Yeah.
I can understand there are times that maybe deploying Veeam 1 or even licensing it might not be an initial option, or at least in scope. And so I think this really speaks to the extensibility, the programmatic API, the art of the possible, whatever you want to call it, that Veeam can do. And I love how he took Marco's GitHub, and then Khalid made his own here with this one. So really good stuff. We keep calling this guy's name a lot. I like this guy.
Yeah, totally. He was part of the hackathon as well, and I think we are trying to get him in the Veeam 100 program. That's what we're trying to do, Charlie, right?
Here. That's a good path to be on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Khalid. All right, next up, number 3, and we're not breaking a rule. We had plenty to choose from, but we're sticking to the plan here. Sean is talking about decoding the cloud in Veeam Backup from Microsoft 365 with the different deployment choices and differences of the different versions over the years. And I think this is a pretty interesting kind of historical rundown. We've never really done this type of thing for any product, and I think that Sean's walking us through kind of an interesting perspective here. But what caught your eye on this one?
Yeah, I really, really like this article from Sean, where he clarifies basically what you said, the difference between deploying Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365 yourself versus opting for Veeam Data Cloud for M365. I think it's a good timing to do this, right? Because a lot of people still get confused on this topic, and Sean explains it very well, the whole thing. And as you said, he's kind of takes us through the evolution of the Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365, and he's taking us through each feature. So as he calls it, feature by feature, starting with version 1, right? And he says like, hey, from version 1 version through, we did like the foundation, and you had the core protection, basic restore, on-premise deployment, and then in version 4 and 5, we expanded the horizons and the resilience, what we are talking about even today. So that's still present, and it's always going to be present. Microsoft Teams backup and object storage support were introduced, as well as enhanced restore options. And in V6, we had self-service restore portal and backup copy to archive tier. The version 7 introduced immutability and then a deeper integration. And the current one, the current major release as of this year, that's version 8. We have scale, security, flexibility. So what he's trying to say in here, hey, beyond the version features, the cloud aspect of the Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365 also come down to how you choose to deploy and manage the solution. So there are 3 ways to do it, right? The self-managed, which is the on-premises or your IaaS cloud. And then we talk about the Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365, which is the BaaS solution, the Veeam Managed BaaS solution. And then the Veeam Cloud and Service Provider Managed Service, the VCSP. And he's kind of describing and talking about the benefits of each, and you should choose whatever fits your business model best. But there is option, there is flexibility in terms of your budget, your way of wanting to work, if you want to be more independent in that way, or if you just want a very, very simple solution, then just go for the Veeam Data Cloud. You don't want to, have any extra things to deal with. You just want us to deal with everything, then just go for that, or just go to a service provider. That's a good solution as well. So I think it's a fantastic write-up by Sean. Thank you very much for doing that and sharing it with the community.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Sean. And a couple points. I want to highlight that, the roll your own, install your own software, this option, the, Veeam Data Cloud versus, the service provider, all of these different modes here. I guess I'll put this one here really to put them all three in a row. They all really speak to freedom of choice. And I think that's an important thing, because here at Veeam, we really talk a lot about the freedom of choice. If you want to have it full control, if you want it managed for you, one of two ways, we have that for you. And I actually just came off of a partner summit that we had, and our service providers love having the different angles that they can provide, especially when like data sovereignty comes into play and other IT services like DR and managed backups and manage other primary IT services. So no shortage of opportunity for the service providers to bring value. So thank you so much for this, Sean. Really, really good, because he's not picking a favorite, and that's important. It's really laying out what those choices are. So really, really good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes our featured content. And now, I got a banner ad. It's time for our Vanguard blog spotlight. I don't know where that came from, but Carrie's son is up, and I love this, Madi. He's talking about creating Entra ID tenant backups, one of the newer workloads we protect. This is a cool one. What caught your eye on this?
Yeah, so basically talking about the Veeam backup for Microsoft 365, right? Carrie's son wrote an article where he just shows us how to create Microsoft Entra ID tenant backup jobs. The article is pretty straightforward, just a demo step by step on the process. And one thing to keep in mind, Veeam backup for Microsoft Entra ID supports the two sorts of backup jobs: the tenant backup job, the protect users, groups, administrative units, roles, and applications, and then the log jobs, protect tenant, audit, and sign-in logs. And one backup job can protect the data of only one tenant. So these are things to keep in mind. So if you are planning to create Microsoft Entra ID tenant backup jobs, this is the perfect guide for you, because it's very, very thorough, just step-by-step, simple, straightforward, as I said. So pretty good. Thank you, Carrie-san, for this.
Yeah, and speaking of the topic we just spoke about, this is one of the two ways, or really three ways, you could consume Entra ID backup. This is also available in Veeam Data Cloud. This is also available through some of our service providers. So the thought here is, in the end, this is the kind of the data mover that does this. And I'll be honest with you, this is so easy, but I appreciate that Carrie walked through it, because if you think about your identity management service, you don't want to mess around, but you also want to protect it. So this is a great way to walk through. Oh, there's the banner ad again. But this is a great way to walk through these steps and understand what will happen and get a sense for it before you, oh, good, now the ad's removed. Get a sense for how it will go before you go into it. So really good stuff. I love it. Thank you so much. And then, Carrie, let us know about a restore. The backup's one thing, but talk to us next time about doing a recovery. So happy to feature you, I think, again on the Vanguard blog spotlight.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, next up is special department news, and I pre-translated these tabs. Well, there it is. We have, let's see, next week, Thursday, week from the day of this recording, we're having a user group Italy meetup in Salerno. Might be a first time in Salerno.
I think it is the first time in Salerno, yes. And I think this is just the second one in, I think last month we had the other one in Bologna. and they are trying something new because it was always like, I think, in Milano and in Rome and in all, the big cities in Italy. So now they are just trying something different. So that's going to be pretty cool. Antonio and Marco are going to be there. I think some people from our team, I don't know, maybe in the agenda we can find the name. I know for the other one we had Francesco. We had Francesco Bonetti there.
They're going rogue. They're using a form, so I don't know.
They are using a form indeed, but yeah, I don't see any name in here.
Well, we have, looks like one of our Veeam partners, Mare, is up on as long object first, but we just keep keeping us guessing here. VUG leader, who knows?
Yeah, no, it's going to be Antonio and Marco for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and Veeam, that's the one that I don't know. Maybe it's going to be Francesco Bonetti again. I don't know who's going to attend this one. They've been pretty independent, Antonio and Marco, putting this together. We supported a little bit more with the one in Bologna, but this one they kind of put it together themselves. So let's see how this is going to go. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be 3 a.m., 8 a.m. That's your time.
Well, it'd be about, it's basically morning through lunch is what it is.
8 a.m., 8 a.m. to lunch, yes, something like that.
Well, it looks like local time 9 with registration
9,
coffee.
Okay.
And then done by 2.
To 2. Okay. Light lunch. They're going to have some prizes as well. And as far as I can see, a lot of interesting topics. So if you are in the area, just you still have time to register. From the time we are going to post this one.
Where is Salerno?
Yeah.
Is that in the south? Like, oh no, not. Oh yeah, okay, south of Naples. Okay, just making sure I know.
I think it's a nice area. So
yeah. Last year I did all my vacations around here, so and here, so yeah. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Marco, Andrea, and our sponsors, Mare and Object First.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right. Next user group, same day, but Czechia. I guess, Prague area. Let's translate this to English. Let's see here. Different times, afternoon type of user group. Looks like it's held at OK Systems here. Let's see if I can get the agenda on this page. Okay, good. We've got a kind of a traditional agenda page, and ransomware. That'll bring people to the yard. Oh yeah, we got a beer party. Love it.
Yeah, I think Nicola was mentioning that there are already like 40 people that register. Wow. So that's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And I don't know who's going to sponsor this. Was it on the? It should be on the registration page.
I believe OK Systems is a Veeam partner. I believe this one here. I believe that's a partner.
So that's gonna be the sponsor.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that always like the Czech Republic one is super successful. They have a lot of attendees. We have a great community in Czech Republic. So, and Antonin and David, they are super passionate about it. So great stuff. Looking forward to see the pictures. Looking forward to see a post at the community hub. And just let us know how it went. I'm sure Nicola is going to be there, and she's going to talk about the Veeam 100 program, about the community hub. So,
I'm sure she'll take a picture.
Oh yeah, she's going to take more.
She loves a picture. She got to have a picture.
Yeah, she will. She will. So awesome. Great stuff.
Good stuff. Let's see. Next up, special department news. Same day, but online. This is actually really, really cool. We've got Al, Nico, Jeff, and Hin, collection of great user group leaders and Veeam 100 members that are going to talk about a Veeam On recap. So that's pretty cool. I like this one, that they're all kind of, a couple of them were there, but they're all going to bring their perspectives. Good pre-reg crowd already, but also on Thursday. Good stuff.
Yeah, let's see. What they're gonna talk about. I'm very curious because there's so much material, right? And they only have like an hour, I think. So that's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be,
don't have the agenda here, but it
yeah. I think they did that on purpose. They did not put an agenda just
Mhm.
to, create interest.
Well, I've even done a few of these types of webinars, recap type things from Veeam on, and it's super clear. The fan favorite is the Veeam software appliance, but
Yeah.
then there's a lot of other things to pick. There's some AI capabilities. Maybe Al caught onto that, given his new role, and then maybe you could also look at the DRMM and the ransomware trends and tactics report. There's also, of course, some of the breakout content, technical content. I mean, you can't fit it in an hour, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. So they're gonna have to pick on some of the topics because there's so much in there. But if you don't have the time to join this one live, you can still rewatch it because there's gonna be in our community hub playlist at the Veeam YouTube official channel. So don't worry about it. Um, you should definitely watch it, even if
Yeah.
you can't make it to the live one. I'm sure it's going to be interesting. All these guys are like really our top technical experts with a lot of knowledge on whatever Veeam means. So just go for it.
And I love that it's that independent perspective, right? It's one thing when you have like the Veeam recap of Veeam on, but this is what it means to each of their different roles. And they all have different, our Veeam 100 folks are all working people, right? So they all have their own kind of perspective, right? So I think it's really interesting to see how it's relevant to the members. So I'm really excited for that.
Me too.
All right. You might remember a second ago, Maddie, I logged out to show you the V13. Good thing, because we're going to go now to the Blog of the Month winner, and it would have shown you who I voted for. So can't be doing that.
Okay.
But who is the winner?
The winner is Marcus. If you remember, last week we had that awesome article that we talked about, the Veeam 100 worldwide
Yeah.
map. So that was the winner, the clear winner. I think he had like 9 votes.
Yeah, I had nine votes. Yeah.
9 votes. So congratulations, Marcus. Great stuff in there. It seems like the whole community appreciated. Keep on being creative. And we are working with Marcus. We have to provide the list with VUG leaders because he's going to add the VUG leaders to this Veeam 100 map. So it's going to be a Veeam 100 plus VUG leader. So it's going to give visibility on the leaders across the globe as well, which is pretty cool. And thank you, Marcus, for doing that.
And Marcus's personal blog, better Veeam than sorry. We love that. We
we
even
love
cleared this with legal that it's a good idea.
We did indeed, yes.
Oh, love it. All right. Speaking of Veeam 100, the next Veeam 100 show is coming up, and we have today. In like half an hour.
Yes, we should have mentioned it last week,
Yeah.
but somehow I missed on it, on this information. But I still want to mention it today because I think this is going to be a cool show. And even if you might not watch it live, you're gonna find it again in the playlist on the Veeam YouTube under Veeam 100 show this time. So we have Justine, one of our vanguards, and we have Ben, who is a superstar in our team, and of course Sophia, that's going to moderate this. And yeah, they talk about the recovery orchestrator, and I'm very curious to watch it to find out more on it.
Yeah, in fact, we're recording now at let's see, 9:35 for me local time, right? And they're up. They're doing the pregame now. Okay, so they're probably getting ready right as we speak. But maybe we can even embed this video in next week's recap. I mean, it's pretty easy to embed the video. So see what we can do. So thank you, Justin. There's no good time to do a live stream with these time zones. So
that's why you have Justin and Ben, right? Because they are kind of in the same part of the world. So.
Exactly. And thank you, Sophia. She, Okay, she's gonna hate this, Maddie. At VMon, we did a couple. There's all these little side videos and stuff. I gave Sophia a nickname. Did she tell you what I told her?
No,
I called
and
her
I
Holly. I
told
called her
you,
Hollywood because
you
she's good
shouldn't
on
have
camera.
said it.
She's
Now
good.
people are gonna call her
Yes,
Hollywood.
that's why I'm doing it. It's Sophia Hollywood Mohammed. I mean, she's good on camera.
She is.
Anyways, so I'm sure she'll have something to say now, but we'll see. All right. Speaking of Sophia, thank you, Sophia, for the Who's New. And we also want to say thank you, Turkey, because something is going on. We've got a lot of folks that have joined.
Indeed. We had Veeam on tour, was it last week, I believe,
Yep,
the 28th of May. And we had our leaders there, Kenan and Tariq, and of course, Moro and Bulent. We mentioned it, Alessio Burchin, that supported. So they've done a great job because we have 272.
Yeah.
Did we have one? Yeah, we did have Who's New last week.
We didn't skip it. Yeah. So this is fantastic. So thank you all. Welcome, everyone. It doesn't even fit on the screen. Let's see. Coolest usernames. Knight Arms, Klingons fans, Freedom Veeam 1976. That's interesting. I got to look that one up. And then I do want to give a special shout out. There's these three folks right here. Abdul, Jada, and Nicole. Those are the 3 of the 4 interns here at Veeam that have joined the team. So big welcome to them as well. In fact, one of them having joined me on a call here later today. So good folks. All right. And then Alfred's pick out of 272. The backup guy. Love it.
Who's the backup guy?
I don't know.
Just comment. Let us know.
Who are you? Let us know.
Who are you?
Love it. All right, Maddie. Hey, this has been a fantastic recap. A lot of great stuff. Thank you so much for curating it.
Absolutely. As always, a pleasure. And a lot of good content, really. I really enjoyed going through the content this week.
Indeed. And, great way to start, like literally first cup of coffee, just got back from holiday. Community gets the first part of my time. So that's awesome. And next week, so it's going to be a little crazy. If we go on Wednesday or Thursday, I will be in Las Vegas. So I'll be on the road. Will you be on the road?
I am not going to be on the road. Okay. I have some time until I'm going to be on the road. My next trip is going to be in few weeks in Monaco for a VUG. So that's going to be 3 days only. And then July and August until Veeam tours in LATAM, I'm going to be at home.
Yeah, those are coming up. I better check in on that. But it's
exciting though.
Oh, I love the Veeam tours. And it sounds crazy. The smaller, the better. Like the smaller the city. I love a cozy, especially a place that's never hosted one before. Like I was telling them, one of my favorite ones was the first time we did one in Serbia, in Belgrade. That's a beautiful city. And it's not like so stressful and overwhelming. And last year, Sophia and I went to Santiago, first time we had a Veeam event of that level in Chile. The local folk really appreciate when you come out there. Some of the alternate cities in New Zealand always have really good turnouts. So all around the world, love it. So
and it's amazing to just go there, talk to customers, talk about the community, because what I found out through the years is just like people don't know about community, and once you go there and you talk about it, people get excited, and then you see what we saw today, plus 200 something people joining the community hub. So it makes a difference.
It does. In fact, there was one, I'm not going to highlight the individual, but there's a member who made his avatar a picture of me and him when I gave him an Alfred pin. I mean, it's like, this is an impactful thing to some people.
It is great. Yes.
Awesome. All right, Maddie, thank you so much for curating all the content. You keep this boat floating as you always do. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I guess we'll figure it out next week.
Yep, we'll be on the road next week. We will see you next week, everyone, for episode 218.